If I woke up 10 kg overweight with a busy career, kids and limited time, here are the 3 things that I would do. By the way, if you're new around here, my name is Mark and I've helped hundreds of busy career driven guys, especially dads, lose 10 kg of fat or more and keep it off for the remainder of their life. And in the process, improve their health markers, increase their longevity and actually had a physique that they could be proud of by using our peak performance program. Now this is a program that I built out over 4.5 years worth of coaching. It's been applied to over 750 of these guys to make sure that they have a repeatable system to consistently see the results that they want to see, both with their physique and with their health, because they go hand in hand. So this YouTube video here is exactly for those type of guys that know that they should be in a better position with their health and with their physique, but they just don't quite know why they're not seeing that progress, despite making the effort and putting the time in to achieve it. Now, before I tell you the 3 things that I would do to lose the 10 kg, here are 3 things that I wouldn't do. Number 1 is I would not follow a fad diet. You know the ones I'm talking about: keto, carnivore, intermittent fasting. They simply do not last. They might give you some quick results and you might see some scale weight dropping and maybe even boost your energy, but a few weeks down the line and you just can't simply sustain it. You know, the keto diet, you can't go out and enjoy a nice meal without having to skip the carbs. The carnivore diet, I mean, how social is that? How much red meat can you eat every single day? So I would not follow a fad diet that's a quick fix. I also wouldn't wing it at the gym, and I wouldn't go all in, guns blazing for 2 weeks to then just fall away from things after the 2 weeks and go back to square one. See, I know that you watching this right now, you are making effort. You know, it's not for a lack of trying. It's simply the fact that you don't quite know the right things to have in place to give you the results that you want to see and lose the 10 kg if that's why you're here. So if it's not for a lack of effort, it's definitely for a lack of clarity. And when you have the clarity, that's when you're going to start to see the progress. And this is what I'm going to show you in this video. Now, if I had your life, I would focus on these 3 things. It's not perfection, it's not motivation, it's not guesswork. It's simply having a repeatable system that you can replicate month after month after month. Something that offers sustainability, because ultimately the goal is not to lose the body fat. The goal is to lose it and keep it off. So here is the 3-step framework. Now, number 1 is making sure that I got my foods in order. I would look to anchor protein at every single meal that I eat. So for breakfast, I would be looking to have some form of Greek yogurt, some form of eggs, maybe some protein oats. For lunch, I would be looking to have a lean protein source and a lean carb source, and I would do the same thing for dinner. And the carb source that I would pick, I would want it to be something that would actually keep me full. If it was for lunch, most of the guys that we work with are very busy. They're traveling, they're seeing clients, they're in between meetings. So I would pick something that would be nice and easy, something like a wrap, something like a bagel that you can have on the go, and I would pair that with some chicken or tuna. For dinner, when I'm eating with the family, I would look to have something like sweet potato, white potato, pasta, rice, again mixed with a protein source like steak, chicken breast, beef mince, salmon, something along those lines. And then of course put some veg in there. Then in the evening, I would have a high protein snack. So again, I would look to have some form of Greek yogurt or something that I could eat nice and easily, you know, and quick. When it comes to the snacking, I would be intentional with it. You know, I would structure and I would schedule snacks in place. I would just make sure that there were ones that actually worked for me. So rather than having crisps and chocolate, I would replace it with banana, watermelon, maybe some more popcorn, and I would make sure that I accounted for it. Now, if you're a busy dad who is on the go often, or maybe you run your own business, or you're a sales director and you need to see clients, I would make sure that when you're traveling, you're actually preparing ahead of time. So I would look at the area that you're staying in, I would get clear on the food options that you have round about, and I would start formulating a plan. If you know that you're going to go to a restaurant, look at the menu ahead of time and pick the leanest source that you have. Try and go for something that's grilled, has a protein source, and doesn't have much sauce. Can't really go wrong. And if you are traveling, I would take the snacks, the protein snacks on the go. So a protein bar, a protein yogurt, some fruit. Rather than being reactive when you get to these places, instead you can be proactive and you can start to control the things that you can control with your diet. Now, getting this on point is the biggest needle mover when it comes to losing the 10 kg. The guys that we work with have tried for 5, 6, 7, sometimes even 10 years to see results, and they don't see it in that time frame. And in the matter of a few weeks, I literally mean a few weeks, these guys see more progress in that time frame. Now, I know that the diet side is something that a lot of you guys really struggle with. So if having the clarity on that is the thing that is hard for you, I've left a link below where you can book a one-to-one diagnostics call with me, and we can go over the areas that you're stuck with just now, get clear on where you want to get to, and if we can help you, then great, we can work through a game plan together that would actually suit you. And if we can't, then it's absolutely fine. You still have some low-hanging fruits that you can go and implement to make more progress than you're currently making. Number 2 is an effective training setup. Now, I would not train 6 times per week. More is not always better. Sometimes less is actually better, but I would be intentional with what I'm training. I would look to train 3 or 4 times per week, ideally for 45 minutes at a time, making sure that I'm following the same set program. Where you have predictability within your training, it makes it easier for you to progress. I know that right now you're probably going into the gym and you're machine hopping, and then before you know it, you can't remember what you did last week. So I would make sure that I had the same movements that I could track over time, and I would look to progress these over the course of the weeks that I'm following it. Within that, I would prioritize my compound movements. This is where you're going to get most bang for your buck. So you're looking at your squats, your chest press, your shoulder press, your deadlift, your bent over row, RDLs. Structure the program around that, and of course allow space for your arms, your delts, accessory movements. In terms of cardio, I would do cardio if I had time, mainly as a cardiovascular health aspect of it, but we prioritize steps with all of our clients because it's the easiest way to make sure that you can keep the calories burning without having to spend hours on a Stairmaster. And the advice I'd give with that is look at the current step count that you have, add 2,000 onto it. Literally just look, if you get 6k steps, go and try and get 8k and try and be intentional with it. Now, the effective training is what gets our guys like AJ and Matt, who dropped 8 kg and 20 kg, looking like they've actually gained that in muscle because they were proper with number 1, their diet, and number 2, their training. Now, this third one is probably the most important when it comes to actually sustaining this fat loss and keeping a physique that you're proud about. And it's your baseline lifestyle behaviors. So it's your sleep, making sure that you are prioritizing recovery. Go to bed round about the same time, wake up round about the same time. Sleep is the biggest variable when it comes to stress management, which you guys running businesses or having kids or having a busy career is very, very important. So sleep is a thing I would prioritize straight off the bat. Then I would be intentional with my movements. Park a little bit further away when you're getting the weekend shopping. Take the stairs instead of taking the lift. Something that our guys use in the office space. Every hour, walk for 5 minutes. You will genuinely surprise yourself with the amount of additional steps you'll get over the course of a working day just by doing that. Another one is waking up 15 minutes earlier in the morning and spending that time to go and get some steps. These small things, lifestyle habits and routines compounded over the course of weeks and months will make a big difference in you being 10 kg down or 10 kg overweight. And like I say, this is the most important aspect when it comes to getting in shape and staying in shape. Guys like Brian, 43-year-old guy, runs his own business with 2 kids. This is something that he absolutely nailed. So on his journey, he lost 16 kg, but this result that I'm flashing up on screen was done 12 months ago. He's still in that incredible shape. Why? Because he leveled up his lifestyle baseline to make sure that he got the result and kept it. Now, implement these 3 as quickly as you can, and I guarantee you that you will lose 10 kg in the matter of 12 weeks. It really can be as simple as that if you have the right things on point. Now, I totally appreciate that a lot of this is logic, and the application of that logic is the hard thing. For a lot of you guys, you might already know the stuff I'm talking about in this video. So then the thing that you miss is the accountability. If that is the case, and you either lack the clarity, the structure, or the accountability, or maybe even all 3, please make sure you go ahead and book a call with me in the section below. We'll sit down and get really clear on where you are just now, what you're struggling with, and if we can start to bridge the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Now, hopefully you found this video helpful. Of course, make sure you drop a like, comment any topics that you want to see me cover to come in and educate you guys as much as I can, and of course subscribe to the channel for more videos. I'll see you in the next one.